Before you sit down, sir, I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty for perjury?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you go ahead and sit down.
Good morning, Mr. Neyrinck. Can you please state and spell your name for the record?
Todd Neyrinck, Toddneyrinck.
Where are you currently employed?
Laidlaw Carriers.
And where did you work in April of 2021?
I worked for DDW Investments.
What was your role there?
I managed the trucking company.
Did you start out, what year did you start working for DDW Investments?
2006.
And was that full-time or part-time?
I started working for them part-time in 2006, and then it was full-time in July of 2007.
Did your role develop over time, or did you always manage the trucking company?
We started off more or less with one truck, and we grew the business from there.
What were your job duties?
I managed the drivers, grew the customer base. I dealt with the customers on a day-to-day basis.
Did you interact with both Mr. Warner and Miss Warner in your role on the farm?
Yes.
And what was your relationship like with Miss Warner?
It was a good relationship over the years. It was probably closer than a person working for somebody should have with somebody.
Was it a relationship where you would speak every day?
Yes.
Either, was it phone, text message, in person?
More in person than texting. I was not a great big fan of texting.
What was your relationship like with Mr. Warner?
Pretty much the same. It's pretty much the same.
Would you say you were closer with Miss Warner or Mr. Warner?
Closer to D over the years, actually, yes.
When was the last time that you saw Miss Warner for a date? What date?
It was Friday, the 23rd of April.
Of April, what year was it?
2021.
And around what time did you see her?
It was around 3:30 p.m.
Where did you see her at?
in the office.
And what was her demeanor like?
She was agitated. She was not herself. She was not dressed normally. She was wearing sweatpants and just a loose-fitting top, and she wasn't made up like normal. She was just not dressed like herself.
So that was Friday, April 23rd. Did you come on the Warner farm at all on April 25th, 2021?
At 3:25 a.m., I went to the farm on the 25th, picked up a truck that was loaded to go to Burns Harbor, Indiana. I was in and out of the farm in probably 10 or 12 minutes. I hooked the truck up, started it, and I left.
When you were on the farm for the 10 to 12 minutes, did you notice any lights on in the house?
The kitchen light was on in the house above the sink, and then the TV was on in both the living room and the bedroom, which was always normal.
Had you picked up loads before on the Warner farm at this time period?
Yes, the previous Sunday I had done the exact same thing. I went to Burns Harbor, Indiana.
You picked up your truck and left. After you left the farm, did you ever go back that day?
I got back around 3:30 p.m. on the 25th.
And when you got back to the farm, who was on the farm?
There was Parker, Hardy, Raquel Bach, and Zach Bach were all in the office. Looking through the cameras, and I had gotten a call from Greg Hardy maybe a half hour prior to when I got back, and he was...
I don't want you to get into what anyone said.
Okay.
No, that's okay.
Okay,
So
that's fine.
you saw
Okay.
Parker, Raquel, Zach. Did you see anyone else on the farm?
That's all I saw
Okay.
when I first got there.
And what did you do when you got there?
I went over to my side of the office. I had to send some custom papers in and get a couple of things in order for Monday, and I had to send a few of the driver's information. I got done and I left.
And did you see Mr. Warner at all after leaving the office?
I went over by the spray barn on the east side of the property. He was in the building, loading the sprayer, and he walked out and talked to me. I did not walk into the building.
Did you see him welding at all that day?
No, ma'am.
Did you know Mr. Warner to weld things on the farm?
I've seen him weld, but
What have you seen him weld?
just anything that was broke. Just a various
When you say anything that was broke, was it farm equipment,
farm
household
equipment, or if something was broke on one of the trailers or trucks, he would weld it, but he didn't do that much welding, like in the, more so when I first started working there.
You talked about farm equipment. Was there anything with the tilling farm equipment that would break and you saw Mr. Warner welding it?
There was a Kong skill tillage tool that broke, that anytime they used it, something broke on the thing.
Do you know specifically what it was?
There's these baskets that would break, rocks would get in them, and they would have to be welded or twisted or some damn thing.
Again, just from what you've seen, did it have to take cutting and welding, just cutting, just welding?
It just depended on what was broken. I mean, there's a million things in the world that would break on the thing, and most of them required welding, cutting, or that type of thing.
And had you seen Mr. Warner fix that specific?
If there was
machine?
nobody else around, he would fix it.
Okay, I have no further questions. Thank you. Are we? Yes.
Is this water free game?
You indicated that you were at the Warner property on April 23rd, 2023?
Yes, at 3:30 p.m., ma'am.
All right, and Stephanie Vogel was there?
Just to clarify, I think you said 2023.
It was 21.
21, I apologize,
21.
I misspoke.
The years all run together, so.
When I said 23, I apologize.
Yeah.
The 23rd of 2021?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And Stephanie Vogel was present at that time, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And the D. Warner you knew always liked to spend money on clothing, correct?
Correct.
Liked to spend money on jewelry, correct?
Correct.
Liked to get her hair done.
Got to do that, too.
She had to like to get her nails done, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. She always liked to dress to the nines.
She was always dressed up and ready to take on the world every day.
On April 25th, 2021, you indicated that you arrived at about
25.
3:25 and left about what time?
It was 3:40.
Okay. And can you take the pointer that you have up there and show me, number one, how you pulled in, where you went first?
I came in right there, pulled in. Oh, sorry. Parked my pickup right there.
So just for the record, it looks like you pulled in on the east side of the property, drove to the very north end of the property, and towards the west behind the building marked number 2. Is that accurate?
That's correct.
Okay, go ahead. What'd you do next?
I started the truck, raised landing gear, hooked up the hydraulic hose, the air lines, walked around quick, bumped the tires, parked my pickup out behind the tank, And then I walked back, got in the truck, and left.
Okay.
And I pulled out this way and went east on Munger Road and then south on Carson Highway to M50.
Do you recall testifying earlier in this case?
Yes,
And do you recall giving statements in this case?
yes.
Do you recall indicating that you drove by the north side of the house to observe?
I didn't drive by the north side of the house, ma'am.
Okay, and did you observe the north end of the house?
I saw the light on and sorry, I observed the light on top of the kitchen sink in the house, and then the TV on in the living room and the TV on in the bedroom, which
Okay.
was the normal.
Did you observe any vehicles parked behind the house?
On the north side of the house?
Correct.
The Hummer and Dale's pickup were both parked there.
All right, I'm going to show you People's Exhibit 124. So when you left at 3:44 in the morning, do you see the X on the north side of the house?
Yes, that would have been where the, yes,
That was where the Hummer was parked?
correct.
Okay. What time did you get back to the property after your load that morning?
It was 3:30 p.m.
Okay, and you went into the office, talked to the kids, is that correct?
Correct.
All right, what time do you think you left?
It was right around 4:30.
Okay. And you indicated you saw Dale inside the spray barn loading the sprayer.
Correct. And then
Okay.
he walked out and talked to me, and then that was it, and then I left.
Okay, you didn't see the sprayer parked in between the building 1 and building 7 there?
No, I did not, ma'am.
Okay.
If I recall correctly, the sprayer was parked in the spray barn, and the hose was hooked up to the sprayer at that time, and that was what I remember.
Okay, nothing further, thank you.
I have nothing further, Your Honor. We have no objection to releasing him.
Ms. Wise, can we release Mr. Neyrinck from Mississippi?
Yes, Your Honor.
You can step down and free to go, or if you prefer to stay in the room.
I'm sure you probably would like to too.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Do you have a question from the
Okay, I didn't look at it either, so.
Oh, sorry.
All right, we have one question. It's my understanding that there's no objection to that question. Is that
That's correct.
That's correct, thank you.
Could I just have you look at the microphone so that, just to make sure your voice gets clear?
I didn't see him do any welding prior to that. I was not around the farm that much, though, to clarify.
Okay. Ms. Wise, any further follow-up on that issue?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Nothing.
All right. Now you're free to go.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a good day, Your Honor.
Your Honor, the defense would call Gregory Hardy.